A lesson in love. A tragic tale of love, deception, and betrayal. Sophia Carter had learned early that love was a dangerous game. It wasn't built on fairy tale or promises, it was a battlefield where the weak were left broken and the strong walked away unscathed. She had seen it firsthand. As a child, she had watched her mother cry herself to sleep over a man who had vanished without warning. He had promised forever but left nothing behind except unanswered questions and a heart that never fully healed. That was Sophia's first and most valuable lesson: never trust love. While other girls grew up dreaming of Prince Charming, Sophia built walls. She watched women in her life give everything to men, only to be discarded like an afterthought. She refused to be one of them. Love, in her eyes, was a losing bet, and she had no interest in being someone's fool. Instead, she poured herself into her ambitions, determined to control her own fate. By the time she reached her late 20s, she was exactly where she had always wanted to be: successful, independent, and in complete control. She had built an empire in the business world, commanding respect and admiration. And when it came to relationships, she treated them the same way she treated business deals: strategic, calculated, and never emotional. Sophia didn't believe in monogamy, nor did she see the appeal of settling down with one man. She had seen too many women put their faith in one person, only to watch their dreams crumble. So she did things differently. She juggled 3 lovers, each offering her something unique, but none having the power to hurt her. Michael was the ambitious businessman who understood her drive and spoiled her with luxury. He was power and stability, a man who appreciated the finer things in life. With him, she dined at the most exclusive restaurants, attended high-profile events, and received extravagant gifts. Sam, the chemical engineer, was different. He adored her mind, the way she spoke about science and business with equal passion. With him, she could be intellectually challenged, indulging in deep conversations over home-cooked meals. He made her feel seen in a way that wasn't just about status or wealth, it was about the way her mind worked, the ideas she had, the way she saw the world. Then there was Joey, the charming realtor who made her laugh like no one else. He was spontaneous, adventurous, and knew how to bring out her carefree side. With Joey, she felt young and unburdened, as if the world wasn't always about strategy and control. She believed she had perfected the balance. None of them knew about each other. She moved between them effortlessly, keeping careful track of their schedules, ensuring she never left traces of one on another. She was meticulous, never wearing the same perfume twice in a day, never allowing a text or call to slip through at the wrong moment. It was an art, and she had mastered it. Her best friend, Vivian, had always warned her that she was playing with fire. "Sophia, you can't keep this up forever. Someone's going to get hurt, maybe even you." But Sophia had always laughed it off. "I know what I'm doing," she would say, her confidence unwavering. And for a long time, she was right. Everything was under control. Until it wasn't. Sophia's deception wasn't just a game to her, it was a carefully orchestrated dance. Every move was calculated, every lie seamlessly woven into her life. She believed that as long as she maintained control, no one would ever suspect a thing. Her system was flawless. She scheduled her time with precision, ensuring no overlap. She used different excuses for each man, making them believe she was always busy with work when she wasn't with them. She kept separate routines, different outfits, different interests, even slight variations in the way she spoke. With Michael, she was the poised and elegant woman, a reflection of his high society lifestyle. She let him believe she was a woman who thrived in the world of power and luxury. She spoke the language of business and finance with him, played the part of the perfect power couple, and allowed herself to be spoiled by his extravagant gifts. With Sam, she let her intellectual side shine. She discussed science, debated theories, and talked about her business in a way she never did with Michael. With him, she wore cozy sweaters instead of designer dresses, cooked in his kitchen, and let him believe he had found a woman who could challenge his mind as much as his heart. With Joey, she was carefree, playful, spontaneous. She let him take her on long drives, laughed at his silly jokes, and indulged in the thrill of adventure. She was a different version of herself with him, someone who didn't always have to be in control. He made her feel like a teenager again, reckless and alive. And so, the illusion continued. She had convinced herself that she was untouchable. Sophia's 30th birthday was approaching, and she saw it as the perfect opportunity to test her balancing act once again. She planned to spend time with each of her lovers, ensuring none of them felt neglected. The day began with Michael. She met him for breakfast at his penthouse, where he surprised her with a diamond necklace after the bedroom activity. "You deserve the world," he said, kissing her hand. Sophia smiled, her mind already racing to her next stop. She'd made an excuse to see a client urgently. By midday, she was with Sam. He prepared homemade dish for her with a cake. They discussed the future together, and it was a bright future. They kissed and ended things up in his bedroom where Sophia got her birthday gift. "You're incredible," she said, leaning in for a kiss, unaware that her mind was already on Joey. As the sun set, Sophia arrived at Joey's apartment. He had decorated his apartment with flowers, playing her favorite songs. "You're amazing," she whispered, dancing with him slowly. They kissed passionately. Sophia looked tired already. She was fast asleep after dinner. Joey grinned, oblivious to the fact that she had spent the day with 2 other men. Sophia returned home the next day, exhausted but exhilarated. She had pulled it off, another day of living her double life without a hitch. But as she lay in bed, a small voice in the back of her mind whispered, "How long can you keep this up?" That she had outsmarted love itself. But fate had a way of humbling even the most careful of players. It all began at a family gathering, a casual evening filled with drinks, laughter, and conversation. Joey hadn't thought much of it when he mentioned Sophia's name. He had been scrolling through his phone, showing a picture of her to his cousin, Michael. "She's amazing," Joey had said, his voice laced with affection. "I swear, she's different from any woman I've ever met." Michael, who had been sipping his drink, turned his head slightly. "Sophia who?" Joey smirked, still distracted by his phone. "Sophia Carter." The name alone sent a chill down Michael's spine. He placed his glass down, his grip tightening. "What did you say?" Joey looked up, confused. "Sophia Carter. Why?" Michael's face remained unreadable, but something in his expression shifted. Slowly, he pulled out his phone and scrolled to a picture of himself with Sophia at a gala. Without a word, he turned the screen toward Joey. The moment Joey's eyes landed on the image, his smile disappeared. "Tell me this isn't her," Michael said, his voice low. Joey stared at the screen, his face twisting in disbelief. He opened his mouth, then closed it. "No, that's..." He stopped himself, his mind racing. Silence stretched between them, thick with unspoken rage. Then, Joey let out a bitter laugh, shaking his head. "Son of a bitch." Michael exhaled slowly, pushing his phone away. "We need to talk." And just like that, the cracks in Sophia's perfect world had begun to form. The discovery didn't stop there. Michael, being the meticulous man that he was, needed proof. He wasn't one to act on emotion alone. So he started digging. A few casual conversations. A bit of research. And then, the final piece, Sam. It was Joey who made the connection. Furious, he had been venting to a mutual friend when they casually mentioned Sam's name. "Man, I think Sam's been seeing a Sophia Carter too," the friend had said, laughing. Joey's face turned cold. "Sam Patel?" "Yeah. He's crazy about her. Talks about her all the time." That was all they needed. By the end of the week, Michael, Joey, and Sam had pieced everything together. The truth was undeniable. Sophia had played them all. And now, it was their turn. They didn't confront her. That would have been too easy. Instead, they decided to let her believe she was still in control. Michael took the lead, continuing to play the devoted boyfriend. He planned a proposal, knowing it would be the final move in their game. Sophia, blinded by her own confidence, fell right into the trap. She accepted without hesitation, believing she had finally chosen the man who would give her everything. She thought she was winning. But she was walking straight into her own downfall. The day of the wedding was nothing short of perfection. Sophia stood at the altar, radiant in her designer gown. Guests filled the venue, waiting for the moment when she would say, "I do." But the moment never came. Minutes passed. Then half an hour. Then an hour. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Guests exchanged confused glances. And then, finally, someone noticed the note on the groom's chair. Sophia picked it up with trembling hands. The words hit her like a blow. You thought you could play us all. But today, the game is over. Welcome to your own heartbreak, Sophia. Enjoy the taste of betrayal. It was signed with 3 names: Michael, Joey, Sam. Her vision blurred. The world spun around her. For the first time in her life, Sophia felt something she had never known before. She had spent years believing she was untouchable, that she was the one who held all the power. But love wasn't a game. And now, she was the one left standing alone. The humiliation was unbearable. The media had a field day, turning her abandoned wedding into a scandal. Everyone wanted to know how the powerful and untouchable Sophia Carter had been played at her own game. She locked herself away, avoiding the world. For weeks, she replayed everything in her mind, trying to understand where she had gone wrong. She had believed that love was weakness, that attachment was a liability. But she had been wrong. Love wasn't about control. And in trying to manipulate it, she had lost the only thing she had never been willing to risk: herself. Months passed. The world moved on. Sophia eventually picked herself up, but she was different now. She no longer played with people's hearts. She no longer sought power at the expense of others. Because for the first time, she understood what it meant to lose. And she vowed never to make the same mistake again. The end. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting video stories.